Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning for this morning of mindfulness. It occurred to me earlier this morning that, in a sense, what we are doing here is nothing. We're making a point of doing nothing. We're not trying to achieve a particular goal or a particular feeling. And in a way, that's the point, to spend a little bit of time out of the doing mode that we find ourselves in so often, the striving, which is so useful much of the time, but which can exhaust us if we spend the whole of our lives in it. So we make a point of, in a sense, doing nothing and simply being. In that way, it's quite a radical break from the rest of our lives. And then, in another sense, what we're doing is everything, it occurred to me, because any opening or easing or peace or stillness that we can bring to our minds by taking this time to simply be, by changing the quality of our minds, we change everything in our experience, because our minds are the filter for everything that we experience. So we're doing nothing in the sense that there's no particular goal to achieve, and there's nothing that can happen that would be wrong. Whatever happens is an opportunity for awareness, for this friendly and non-judgmental awareness that meets each moment with kindness and balance and accepts it as far as possible, is curious about it without trying to change it. And on the other side, knowing that by doing this, we can affect, in a positive way, everything in our experience and in our lives. So this morning we'll be practicing bringing attention into the body, a place of refuge for our awareness that is always available. So choosing which posture would best serve you this morning, sitting or standing or lying. Feeling free to experiment, try a posture you haven't tried before, or not. So just taking a moment to make that decision now. If you're sitting, allowing the spine to be straight, shoulders upright but also relaxed, feet flat on the floor. If you're lying down, making sure that the head and neck are supported, the arms lying by your sides, perhaps with the palms facing the ceiling, and the legs outstretched, or alternatively the knees bent and the soles of the feet flat on the floor. Choosing a posture that, for you, embodies a sense of dignity, a sense of falling awake. So perhaps allowing the eyes to close or lowering the gaze, resting the eyes on a certain point with a soft focus. And having a sense of the whole body in whichever posture you are, from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Dropping into the body, which is to say, tuning into the sensations. There'll probably be thoughts as well, but just foregrounding the felt sensations at this point, letting those be center stage of your awareness. Including the envelope of the skin, and becoming aware too of the movement of the breath in the body. Perhaps seeing if you can feel this in the belly. It doesn't matter if the breath is long or short, or if the sensation is strongly or subtly felt. However things are is an opportunity for awareness. And that is the essence of the practice. Bringing awareness to however things are. There's no set of conditions we need to wait for before we can be aware of what is here. As you next breathe out, letting go of the whole body in awareness and bringing the attention down into the feet, and more specifically into the toes of the left and right feet. Opening the mind to the sensations of the toes, however subtle, maybe a temperature, or a sense of contact, maybe a tingling or a throbbing. And now expanding the awareness to include the whole of both feet. So letting your interest move from the toes over the tops of the feet and over the soles of the feet and the heels and inside the feet too. What sensations are there? The mind will very likely wander away at different points into thinking, planning, worrying maybe. Remembering that noticing this is already awareness. Noticing this is another opportunity for awareness. So acknowledging where the mind has gone. And then coming back now to hold the whole of both feet in your awareness. And when you next breathe out, letting go of the feet, allowing them to be just as they are, and moving the awareness up to the lower legs, left and right, from the ankle to the knee, the bones here, the muscles, sensations of blood flow, contact with clothing and atmosphere. Just dropping the mind into this part of the body, being here. And breathing out and moving the attention up further into the thighs, the thick muscles and the longest bones of the body. Just tuning the awareness to the thighs. As a musician tunes their instrument. So we can take some time each day to tune the awareness into the body. However proficient a musician is, they will always tune their instrument before playing. And likewise, it is so helpful for us to tune our body and our awareness at the start of each day. Letting go of the thighs as you breathe out, and bringing awareness to the whole of the region of the pelvis, the hips at the sides, the genitals, the buttocks, a sense of contact with chair or floor, perhaps. All the way round, at the surface and deep inside. Seeing if you can breathe into and out of this part of the body. Drawing the breath into this region as you breathe in, and breathing out from it. Aware of any wandering mind, any sense of judgment, how well you are doing this. There really is no such thing when we practice mindfulness. Whatever happens, we can be aware of it. And that is the entirety of the practice. Nothing can happen that is wrong. It may be painful or difficult. It may not be what we'd like it to be. But it can still be held in awareness. And that is the task, as it were. 'Cause, So letting go of any expectation or evaluation as best you can, and just being with what is. Moving the awareness up from the pelvis now to the lower half of the torso, the lower back and sacrum, an area of the body that sometimes carries tension. Again, seeing if it's possible to breathe into this part of the body and to breathe out from it, inviting a sense of releasing as you do. And including the front of the body too, the abdomen, expanding and deflating with each breath. And breathing out and letting go, and moving the awareness up the torso, the solar plexus, and the middle of the back, the rib cage, a sense of opening and softening in the chest. Perhaps feeling the beating of the heart, the gentle movements of the lungs, the shoulders at the back. Coming back again and again to the body, however many times the mind wanders. Such a natural tendency. No need to be surprised by it or disappointed by it. Just coming back. And as you next breathe out, letting go of the whole of the torso and bringing the awareness down into the hands, the fingertips, with their particular concentration of nerve endings. Opening the mind to simply receive whatever sensations are here as you allow the fingers to be still. And just registering a blank if there is no sensation right now. That is equally okay. The joints of the fingers and the knuckles, the backs of the hands and the palms. Maybe a sense of throbbing in the wrists from the radial arteries. Moving the interest up the arms as you let go of the hands and scan through the forearms, bones and muscle and skin, the softness of the inside of the elbows and the bone outside, and up the upper arms, the armpits and shoulders, just being with, just observing, nothing else to do. Widening the focus of the awareness now to include the whole of both arms, a broader view, receiving all the sensations here, from the fingertips to the shoulders. Parts of the body that are so often moving for us, even when the rest of the body is still. Just allowing the arms to rest now. And letting go as you breathe out, bringing the interest into the neck, the softness of the throat at the front, the muscles at the sides, the vertebrae at the back. Breathing into the neck and breathing out from it. And tuning into the face and the head now. Feeling what is here to be felt in the jaws, chin, the lips, the space between the upper lip and the nose, where you might feel the sensation of breath. Cooler air coming in, warmer air going out. Aware of the cheeks, the inside and outside of the nose. The eyes and eye sockets, the eyebrows and the space between them. See if you can bring a sense of kindness to this interest in the face, a sense of patience, of allowing the face to be how it is, allowing it to soften to whatever extent is possible right now. Without judging any limitations as best you can. We all have our limits, and these change quite naturally over time, especially as we practice bringing awareness. So if there's some tension that can't be released right now, in the face or the head or somewhere else in the body, see if you can bring a patience to this. and a trust that, like all things, in its own time it will pass. No need to fight it or resist it, but by stepping back from any resistance, we help it to release as quickly as however is possible. Continuing to move the interest through the forehead and temples and across the scalp, and taking a wide view now that holds the whole of the head and the face and the neck and the whole body in awareness, a gentle awareness, the constellation of the body, its stars and planets and asteroids, and the vast spaciousness between them. Aware of this whole, this deeply interconnected whole, and just witnessing it. Today's poem is called Grace by Alice Walker. Grace gives me a day, too beautiful I had thought to stay indoors. And yet, washing my dishes, straightening my shelves, finally throwing out the wilted onions, shrunken garlic cloves, I discover I am happy to be inside looking out. This, I think, is wealth. Just this choosing of how a beautiful day is spent. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. I wish you a good day, and I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Take care.